Good morning, Mike and Arlen, our Philippine journey. Thanks so much for joining us. Hey, I look for value in everything that we do, or I do, and so should you. But the problem is, none of us are alike. Let's talk about that.
Why'd you have to go? I guess this world's too slow for you. I think there's beauty in the gray, the cold, but you just want the gold. And there's no way I can beat it, cause I got no chance, no chance when it comes to her. She got the glitter and the fame, and I just wasn't enough.
All right. I'm going to be very optimistic about this. I don't think many people will be happy or actually interested in this video, but I think it's something that people should say more often. I think it shows the differences that are out there. I look at value of just about everything that we do. And with that being said, what I consider valuable may not be, in fact, often is not what you would consider to be valuable. You see, I get these comments sometimes, and I get reactions sometimes to our video about, well, it's not a very relaxed life, you know. What you do isn't, but what I do is what I like. The hobbies that I have are the hobbies that I like. And each one of those is value to me. It doesn't matter whether it's something simple. Like, for instance, I can spend 2 hours watching different news outlets from across the world, different perspectives, seeing the other side of what people think. You know, you look at, say, a couple of major news stories, and those news stories are represented different ways in different outlets. And I find it valuable to try and see those things. I look at other YouTube channels just like that as well. There are people that have their own opinions and their own sense of what they consider valuable. Another example, I am not a gardening person. I don't find any value in pulling weeds, trimming hedges, growing things. I mean, one of these days I will show you our balcony, and I'll show you we have like 11 or 12 plants out there, all of them doing well except one. One, I call it my special needs plant. And how it has survived this long is beyond me. It really and truly isn't. But Arlen keeps nursing it back to health, and so it is. I don't find value in working on those plants and trimming those plants and pulling weeds out of them and cleaning up behind the birds that try and nurse in the or scratch around in the soil. I don't find value in that other than, oh, the balcony needs to be swept. It needs to be mopped. I don't find value in the same things that some other people do find value in. And that's what makes us different. What would separate you from that same situation? Some people don't find value in having a conversation with other expats. They find a lot of value with having a conversation with foreign nationals still in their country, giving advice and things like that. But they don't find a value of having a conversation with an expat that's living here. I do. I find that. Now, don't get me wrong, some of them are annoying as hell. I mean, let's be honest. Okay, there are some fruit cakes out there, but for the most part, everybody that we meet is very nice. I can't argue with that. Look, the green screen's tapping on this ugly. I'm still working on lighting and fade and interlace and stuff like that, but that's beside the point. Value. What is value to you in your life? I find value in having conversations with my wife. Some of you say you can't communicate with your Filipina, or communicating with a Filipina is difficult. I don't think it's difficult, to be honest with you. And I can tell you, you know whether what you're saying is coming across, or whether it's being understood, or whether your point's being made. It's not that difficult to figure out the results of that conversation. And some people will tell you it can't do it. They don't understand it. They're a different mindset. That's just like me sitting there and saying, I can't understand British TV. I can't understand their sense of humor. Well, I got to tell you, that's not necessarily true. It is different. British humor is different than American humor. British sarcasm, different. I've been watching a British sitcom for a couple months now. It's got a crap. It's got like 8 seasons or 9 seasons of shows. And at first it was like, God, I can't even figure it out. I had to subtitle it. It's of value to me. I understand, or I think I begin to understand the differences and the different things. I do understand how we confuse what we consider one way and they consider another. That's why I'm always saying people are different. When you're talking about Filipinos, your exposure to those Filipinos is different. I enjoy conversations with them. I enjoy trying to struggle through the meaning sometimes, and I enjoy a free-flowing conversation sometimes. It depends on the level. Smooth Lee just put out a video talking about, you've got to find the right segment of people. You've got to find people who are in that range of communication and understanding and education that you are. So it's a good video. You should check it out. It's his latest video. My point with all of this is simple. You find value in what makes you happy. I find value in what makes me happy. I find value in many things that you would consider to be silly or stupid or anything else. Value doesn't always necessarily mean financial. There are things that I do that absolutely have zero financial value. In fact, sometimes they have a little bit of negative financial value. Well, maybe oftentimes if you ask my wife on how I spend my money, okay? But the point is, it makes me happy. For you to find happiness, you have to work within what you find valuable. You have to pursue those things. And that's all that I'm really getting at here, is that we're all so different. YouTubers are all so different. You can find value in watching some because they have similar traits or similar goals or similar desires, and they fit within what you think is the path that fits you the best. That's great. That's absolutely great. The whole idea behind coming to the Philippines is to relax, is to enjoy life. Doesn't mean that it's a simpler life or a simple life, because quite frankly, that again just rolls into all of our individuality. I find value in certain things that you will not. You will find value in certain things I do not. And that makes us different. And that's what makes the world go round. If everybody had the same opinion, if everybody had the same ideas, if everybody had everything identical, then you'd only watch one YouTube channel because it would be the same as everybody else's. I don't know. You tell me, what do you find value in? What makes you happy? Whether it's something that costs you money or something that saves you money. Tell us what you feel, how you feel about that. Otherwise, happy Memorial Day in the West. And we want to thank you so very much for watching. Please do subscribe and hit that like button.